Hello Grade 3 students. Welcome to your first YouTube activity that's part of your cafe. This one's called Fill in the Blank. I'm going to give you a few instructions now and then I'm going to get into the activity. The best thing about this video is that if you think you're falling behind, just hit pause, complete the little bit of the activity. You might even scroll back to listen to it again and then we'll go forward, okay? So the very first thing that I need you to do, you need to open your cafe book and you need to set up the page. So I've got a little example here. At the top, I'd like you to write, fill in the blank. Okay, at the top of your page. Then I'd like you to write book 1, book 2. And you can even maybe do book 3 and 4 here if you want to. But for now, let's just do book 1, book 2. Then, down the side, I want you to write 1 to 15. Now, I only stopped because I've only got a half page, but I want you to write 1 to 15 all the way down the page. Getting this set up at the very beginning is super important, so can you please go and do that now? Right, now you've done that, let's get into the activity. The title says fill in the blank, and that's exactly what you need to do. I'm going to be reading a little bit of a book, and I'm going to skip certain words and using the words before and after, or maybe the context in the book, you need to try and figure out which word I skipped. For example, I might read the sentence, she brushed her teeth and got into blank and slept for the rest of the night. What do you think that word could be? I hope that some of you came up with the word bed. Now, there are a few clues in that sentence. You guys know that you brush your teeth before you go to bed. You also sometimes say that you hop into bed, and it's also where you sleep. So there were so many clues there to say that it was bed. Now, some people are going to find this activity really easy, and some people might find it a bit hard, and that's absolutely okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to read a little section from 4 different books, okay? And in each book, there will be 15 words missing, okay? I will tell you when I'm starting which book. I'd like everybody to start at the first one and just work their way through. And if you only get through one, it's totally okay. You might be sitting there going, I have no idea what this means. I don't know what to do. Trust me, once we get started, you'll understand straight away. So, without further ado, let's start. Okay, everybody, book number 1 that I'm going to read is this one, Conga Dance. I'm going to give you a clue. There's a bit of rhyme in this particular book and it might help you figure out what the missing word is. Okay, now I'm going to blank the screen so you are listening and you're not watching. Okay, if you need to go back and listen to it again, do it as many times as you need, okay, to help you figure out the word. Here we go. I made a little mistake, everyone. Teachers are allowed to do that. In this first book, there are only going to be 7 words missing, okay, because it's quite a short book. So I'm going to be reading, and when I skip a word, you're going to hear this sound, a click, okay? When you hear a click, that means that I've missed a word, and you need to try and figure out what that word is, okay? So you'll have 7 clicks in this particular bit for this book, and you need to try and figure out what those 7 words might be. Best of luck. Conga Dance by Jane Chapman. Join the line, the conga line. Just tap your toes and you'll be fine. Emu's up first, on her 2. Wallaby bounds in to the beat. Wombat's next, whiskers shaking. Koala joins the music. Ringtail swings down after. Cockatoo struts and squawks with. Spiky sees her chance, grabs a feather and joins the. The conga is now complete. Everyone's dancing to the conga beat. Okay, I hope that wasn't too hard, but if it was, it's absolutely no problem. I'm going to read the next book now, which is Judy Moody, or Judy Moody was in a mood, not a good mood, a bad mood. Okay, let's see if you can pick out the 15 words that I miss in this particular book. Judy Moody was in a bad mood, not a good mood, a bad mood, by Megan MacDonald. Chapter 1, A Bad Mood. Judy Moody did not want to give up her summer. She did not feel like brushing her every day. She did not feel like memorizing spelling words, and she did not want to sit next to Frank Pearl, who ate paste in class. Judy Moody was in a not a good mood, a bad mood, a mad face mood. Even the smell of her new grouchy pencils could not get her out of bed. First day of school, sang her mother. Shake a leg and get dressed. Moody slunk down under the covers and put a pillow over her. Judy, did you hear me? Rah, said Judy. She would have to get used to a new desk and a new classroom. Her new desk would not have an armadillo sticker with her name on it, like her old one last year. Her new classroom would not have a porcupine named Roger. And with her luck, she'd get stuck sitting in the front row where Mr. Todd could see every time she tried to pass a to her best friend, Rocky. Mum poked her head inside Judy's room again. And thinking about brushing that hair, okay? One of the worst things about the first day back at was that everybody came back from summer wearing new t-shirts that said Disney World or Sea World or Jamestown, home of Pocahontas. Judy searched her top drawer and her bottom drawer and even her underwear drawer. She could not find one shirt with words. She wore her tiger-striped pajama pants on the bottom and a plain old no-words t-shirt on top. She's wearing pajamas, said her brother Stink when she came downstairs. You can't wear to school. Stink thought he knew everything now that he was starting second grade. Judy glared at him with one of her famous troll eye stares. Judy can change after, Mum said. I made sunny side up eggs for the first day of school, said Dad. There's squishy bread for dipping. There was nothing sunny about Judy's egg. The yellow middle was broken. Judy slid her wobbly egg into her napkin on her lap and fed it to Mouse, their cat, under the... Summer is over and I didn't even go anywhere, said Judy. You went to Grandma Lou's, said Mum, but that was right here in boring old Virginia. I didn't get to eat hot dogs or ride a roller or see a whale, said Judy. You rode a bumper car, said Mum. Baby cars at the mall, Judy said. You went fishing and ate a shark, said Dad. She ate a shark? Asked Stink. I ate a shark, asked Judy. Yes, said Dad. Remember the fish we bought at the market when we couldn't catch anything? I ate! Exclaimed Judy Moody. Judy Moody ran back to her room and peeled off her shirt. She took out a fat marker and drew a big mouthed shark with lots of teeth. I ate a... she wrote in capitals on the front. Judy ran out the door to make sure she didn't miss the... She didn't wait for Stink. She didn't wait for kisses from Mum or hugs from... She was in a hurry to show Rocky her new t-shirt with words. She almost forgot her bad mood until she saw Rocky practicing card tricks at the bus stop. He was wearing a giant-sized blue and white t-shirt with fancy letters and a picture of the Loch Ness Monster roller coaster. Like my new... he asked. I got it at Bunch Gardens. No, said Judy Moody, even though she secretly liked the shirt. I like your shark, said Rocky. When Judy didn't say anything, he asked, Are you in a bad mood or something? Or something, said Judy. Book number 3. It's pretty impressive if you get this far. I think a few of you will be happy with my book selection. A little bit of Harry Potter. Okay, now this is where it's going to start. There might be a couple of different words that you can use, but just use any one that you think will fit, and that will still show to me and Miss Lockwood that you know how to use the sentence and the context to figure out what the word may be. So here we go. Chapter 6. The Journey from Platform 9 and 3. Harry's last month with the Dursleys wasn't fun. True, Dudley was now so scared of Harry he wouldn't stay in the same room, while Aunt and Uncle didn't shut Harry in a cupboard, force him to do anything or shout at him. In fact, they didn't speak to him at all. Half terrified, half furious, they acted as though any chair with Harry in it was empty. Although this was an improvement in many ways, it did become a bit depressing after a while. Harry kept to his room with his new owl for company. He had decided to call her Hedwig, a name he found in a history of magic. His school books were very... He lay on his bed reading late into the night, Hedwig swooping in and out of the open window as she pleased. It was lucky that Aunt Petunia didn't come in to Hoover anymore, because Hedwig kept bringing back dead mice. Every night, before he went to... Harry ticked off another day on the piece of paper he had pinned to the wall, counting down to September the 1st. On the last day of August, he thought he'd better speak to his aunt and uncle about getting to King's Cross Station the next day, so he went down to the living room where they were watching a quiz show on the... He cleared his throat to let them know he was there, and Dudley screamed and ran out of the room. Uncle Vernon? Uncle Vernon grunted to show he was... I need to be at King's Cross tomorrow to go to Hogwarts. Uncle Vernon grunted again. Would it be all right if you gave me a lift? Grunt. Harry supposed that meant... Thank you. He was about to go back upstairs when Uncle Vernon actually spoke. Funny way to get to wizard school, the train. Magic carpets got all punctures, have they? Harry didn't say anything. Where is this? Anyway. I don't know, said Harry, realising this for the first time. He pulled the ticket Hagrid had given him out of his... I just take the train from platform 9 3/4 at 11 o'clock, he read. His aunt and uncle stared. Platform what? 9 3/4. Don't talk, said Uncle Vernon. There's no such thing as platform 9 3/4. But it's on my... Barking, said Uncle Vernon. Howling mad, the lot of them. You'll see. Just you wait. All right, we'll take you to King's Cross. We're going up to London tomorrow anyway, I wouldn't have bothered. Why are you going to... Harry asked, trying to keep things friendly. Taking Dudley to hospital, growled Uncle Vernon. Got to get that ruddy tail removed before he goes to Smeltings. Harry woke at 5 o'clock the next morning and was too excited and nervous to go back to sleep. He got up and pulled on his jeans because he didn't want to walk into the station in his wizard's robes. He'd change on the... He checked his Hogwarts list again to make sure he had everything he needed, saw that Hedwig was shut safely in her... and then paced the room, waiting for the Dursleys to get up. 2 hours later, Harry's huge heavy trunk had been loaded into the Dursleys' car. Aunt Petunia had talked Dudley into sitting next to Harry, and they had set off. And the last book, which is going to be super, super, super tricky, is Nicholas in Trouble. This one is a slightly more detailed book, so if you aren't too sure what the words are, just listen to it heaps of times, or even listen to it all the way through, and then you might be able to pick up what one or two of the words are. Best of luck! Nicholas in Trouble by Sempe. Chapter 1. Jeremy has problems. Jeremy didn't come to school at all yesterday, and when he got in today, he was looking very cross. We were ever so surprised. We weren't surprised Jeremy was late and looking cross, because he's often late, and he always looks cross when he has to go to... especially when there's going to be a test. What surprised us was our teacher giving him a great big smile and saying, "Congratulations, Jeremy! How pleased you must be!" This made us even more... Because our teacher may have been nice to Jeremy before. Our teacher's great. She'd be nice to absolutely anyone. But she's never congratulated him on anything. Jeremy still didn't seem pleased. He went and sat down at his... next to Max, looking just as cross as ever. We all turned around at him, but our teacher tapped her own desk with a ruler, and she told us not to fool about. Mind our own business, please, and kindly copy down what was written on the board, and don't make any mistakes. And then I heard Geoffrey, who sits behind me, whispering, "Jeremy's had a little brother. Pass it on." At break, we all went over to Jeremy, who was leaning against the wall with his hands in his, and we asked him if it was true that he'd had a little brother. Yeah, said, Dad came and woke me up yesterday morning. He was dressed, but he hadn't shaved. He seemed so pleased and he hugged me and he told me I'd had this little in the night. Then he told me to hurry up and get dressed, and we went to and my mum was there. She was in bed, but she looked just as pleased as my dad, and my little brother was there too, in a cot beside her bed. Well, I said, you don't look too pleased. So what have I got to be pleased about? Said Jeremy. For a start, he's a rotten sort of brother. He's all little and all red and he cries all the time, and everyone thinks he's a real laugh. When I cry, even just a little bit, they tell me to shut up, and Dad says I'm being ridiculous and I get on his nerves. That's right, said Rufus. I know, I've got a little brother too. You wouldn't believe the fuss and bother. He's Mummy's little darling. He can do he likes, and if I thump him on the head, he goes and tells Mum and Dad, and they don't let me go to the pictures on the weekend. It's the other way round, and ow, said Eddie. I've got this big brother and everyone likes him best. He can say I'm making trouble and get away with it. He can thump me and he's allowed to stay up late and watch the... People have been trying to catch me out ever since my little brother arrived, said Jeremy. My mum wanted to kiss him in the hospital, and of course I didn't want to, but I started doing it all the same. And then Dad started shouting and telling me to take care. I was going to upset the cot, and he'd never known anyone so clumsy in his life. When they're all little like that, what do they eat? Asked Alec. After that we went home, me and Dad, said Jeremy, and it wasn't much fun at home without... Especially when Dad had to get lunch and he was cross because he couldn't find the tin opener, and when he did, he only had sardines and lots of tinned peas. This morning, Dad yelled at me just because the milk was boiling over.